Season 4, Episode 19, where we watch RuPaul's Drag Race, Season 11, Episode 1. I'm Chris Lorenz.
Robert Kitts.
Ben Mingle.
Brian Houston.
Noah Singer.
Welcome, Ben. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome,
Thank
Ben.
you. Thank you.
Yo, buddy.
I want to give a forewarning that we're watching this drag show and pronouns are hard sometimes. Give us a break. Rob, can you give us a description of the show?
I gotta say, this show description is pretty weak, but here we go. RuPaul's Drag Race is a reality competition television series. The show documents RuPaul in search of America's next drag superstar. RuPaul plays the host, mentor, and head judge for the series, as contestants are given different challenges each week. RuPaul's Drag Race employs a panel of judges who critique contestants' progress throughout the competition. That's RuPaul's Drag Race on VH1 and tells you absolutely nothing about this show.
So it's a competition show.
But here's the thing. It has part of Emmy's month.
It is part of Emmy month.
This is the conclusion of Emmy's month.
And why do we watch this at the end of Emmy's month?
So the Emmys were on Sunday, and RuPaul's Drag Race won both Best Reality Competition Series and Best Reality Show Host.
Ooh, boy.
Fucking nailed it, Lost.
We've also done, I guess this was our second one we did 3 out of the 4 categories this year.
That's right. Which category did we not hit?
We did not hit unstructured reality program.
Is there anything good in that? Yeah.
Well, for us, it's questionable of whether these are actual reality shows.
Yeah, that's getting into more the documentary.
The best debate ever.
Yeah. So the winner of unstructured reality program was United Shades of America with Kamau Bell,
Yeah.
which is like
it's a good show.
CNN. It's a CNN documentary.
Yeah. It's not.
So
I think in the context of what the kind of shows we do, I feel like the RuPaul's Drag Race is more up our alley.
And then the other one is structured reality program, which the winner was Queer Eye.
Oh, Queer Eye, which we've done.
We've done that, and that's the same category Antiques Roadshow is in.
Oh, good old Antiques Roadshow.
So Antiques Roadshow lost.
Rob.
As they should.
So
Queer Eye is so much better than Antique Roadshow.
Bullshit.
What?
No, I'm kidding. Actually, old Queer Eye is good. Like, this past season was not that great. Anyway.
We can move on.
Wait, no. Oh, this is important. New Queer Eye is still very good.
We're talking about the newest season of Queer Eye, which is season 3.
Yeah, the newest
Oh,
season.
yeah, I don't know if I watched it, but
Yeah.
Antique Roadshow, just it's fine.
What? It's season,
Antiques Roadshow.
it's season 54. Give it a break.
I'll tell you, I've never cried my eyes out during an episode of Antiques Roadshow.
Well, because you've never found out you found something that's worth $100,000.
But I've cried my eyes out during the new reboot of Queer Eye.
Yeah,
Not the
yeah,
recent season. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to say what's the season 1, 2, 3, especially on Netflix, but the reboot.
On this
I can tell you-
tangent, season 3 is not that good.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But season 3 is what won the Emmy.
I don't know. I fuck if I know.
I mean, it's got it because, like, it's only
It
like one
doesn't say
season.
what season they won these things for.
No, you can only enter, like, for, like, that specific season. That's why, like, Game of Thrones, like, couldn't be part of it last time. I don't remember.
Also,
Game of Thrones was nominated for Best Reality Show?
Well, no. Like, there was, like, something with, like, the Emmys and, like, they couldn't enter because of, like, when they actually, like, released their season.
Whatever. No one cares. Making it last week, we really liked the hosts of Amy Poehler and Nick Offerman, and they lost. It was sad.
Lost to RuPaul.
Lost to RuPaul, which,
You know,
after this episode, I think Nick Offerman and Amy Poehler did a much better job.
man, I'm going to disagree.
It's,
Well,
you know,
I don't see last episode.
Along with the shade of the show, I'm throwing some shade.
Well, they seem to have more writers, if I had to guess, on making it. Like, they were moving quickly on the lines, where it appears, at least on RuPaul, it is much more ad hoc. And they just got content coming from everywhere.
Everyone in the show knows the best one line, are really good at one liners. All the contestants and the judges
how
are
many?
good at one-liners.
I don't want to be that guy, but how many gay people do you hang out on the regular? I get so much shade from my gay friends that it's not
But it's
even
not
fucking
even the
funny.
shade part. It's like the one-liners.
Yeah, it's a constant stream of like I'm gonna burn you, and I've never experienced that from anybody. Like you can experience like some like shitty stuff, fine, but this is just a constant stream of good content.
But there's like 14 contestants, 5 judges. So let's say even if it's a little less, 15 people. You have cameras on them all the time. You're gonna edit out to some zingers and all that.
Agreed.
You're actually right. I was thinking more of the hosts, and it's like they're not coming up with that shit like immediately.
Mm-hmm.
We need to roll it back though. We need to like.
All right. So let's get back to the show. It's a standard competition show where men dress as women.
Thanks, Chris.
That's the show.
I mean, the sewing was goddamn impressive.
Oh,
Some
man.
of the-
Very impressive.
I don't want to say anything beyond that as far as the sewing is concerned because I don't know my way around a sewing machine, and these bitches crushed it.
No home ec, Ben.
I mean, I passed home ec, but like these bitches crushed it.
I
They're
mean-
like
Oh,
sewing skin tight bodysuits during. I don't know how long the show occurs over, but like during that period,
It's true.
Yeah.
I couldn't fucking do that.
I would ask, please tweet at us if you failed home ec. There's a good story behind that one.
Ben, is a common favorite thing of the show to try to guess what the production timing schedule looks like.
Oh my!
So
We
if
definitely
you've
get
got any ideas of how long you think this episode took to actually film, please share your thoughts because it's very much on brand for us to go there.
All right, I'll give that a little thought
Well,
and maybe
so
share it.
Let's go like the show structure. Like let's go over what they did.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. I was just we'll go over the whatever happened in the show.
Yeah.
So
Actually-
the intro, 15 people, one returning contestant that got kicked off first last season. Then they did a photo shoot with drag stars. Each one had a different star.
Super
It was
duper
really-
drag
was
queens, I don't know.
every star a previous like winner or highly
They didn't
ranked
really
person
say.
on this
Wait,
show?
So-
what season are we on? Because we can do the math here, right?
Well, this
Hold
is
on.
season 11.
So
Before we get
So there's
into
only
the
10
minutia,
previous
Yeah.
winners.
so
Before
let's
we
get in the
get
structure
into
like
the
the show / episode.
I know. Before we get there,
All
not
right.
in the minutia yet, guys.
keep
Hold
going.
on.
know,
Chris, keep going. We'll get to the minutia soon enough.
Then after the winner of that got to the next challenge, they were given a trunk of like random bits of cloth, seemingly, and they had to make an outfit. And then they went on like a what is it? Cake? What is it?
Catwalk.
Catwalk.
Or runway.
Runway. That's what I was thinking. Catwalk. And they give this little show, and there's 5 judges. They judge, but RuPaul seems to be the judge,
including Miley Cyrus on this episode. She was the
Sure.
guest judge.
We got to
Yeah.
get to that
We'll
at
get
some
Miley
point.
Cyrus was the guest judge, guest celebrity judge, and at the end, there's 2 people. They do a lip sync battle, and then one of them goes home.
I
That's what
almost
happens.
forgot about that part.
Sashay away.
So let's go through some of the people on the show. I think is probably the way to do this.
Okay.
So we got the pictures of all these people up so we remember who they are.
Yeah.
So let's go over this first person, Akira Davenport. I'm sorry if I butchered
No,
that.
you got it.
I don't think there's anything really to say about this person. This is the person that had like the giant horsehair.
Yeah, she was
costume.
just like,
No.
"Why you?" I don't know.
Was it? I thought there was another person. Like, scroll down a little bit.
Oh, here we go.
Now we're gonna fight over who was who.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
I'm excited.
I thought it was like Evie. Maybe.
Well, this is really great podcast material. so-
Yeah, well, like we're
Yeah. No, I think it was Davenport that had
The
hair.
problem
Maybe.
is these are in alphabetical order, not chronological order.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, chronological to what?
the order we saw them introduced. So we'd start with the one from last time.
which was Vanjie,
Miss
which is
Vamsey.
the second to the last.
Supposedly, Miss Vamsey's a meme on the internet. Who knew?
Yeah, so apparently, as Noah's saying, the one who got kicked off first last season turned into some kind of meme, and they brought them back for this season.
Yeah, there was this weird part where they had like 7 people came into the room or like introed already, and they're like, I wonder if they're gonna bring back anyone else. And then on the count of 3, guess who it is. And then they
And
guessed her.
it was like 90% of the people guessed that.
It was very suspicious that they introduced this person from the previous season, who then they go and hide behind something, and then they're introing other people, and then I wonder if this person from the previous season will show up, and it's the person who's literally hiding behind something and just pops out at that point. It's like
That might have been scripted.
Might have been scripted.
There was a lot of mumbling too, and it kind of sounded like everybody. Some people said like something else, and they like kind of switched it up. So that was kind of good. It's like the birthday thing.
Little bit of ADR in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. Who else? Who's the next person you want to talk about, Rob?
Honestly, like I don't know.
I mean,
like
Silky Nutmeg for a while, they were all saying like, "Oh, she's only here for her camera time,"
Yeah.
and honestly, I kind of believed that, and I was kind of surprised that they didn't like make a bigger deal out of that. Like,
I
not
mean,
make a
her
bigger
outfit
deal out of
wasn't
it.
bad.
It wasn't terrible. There were worse ones. I will agree.
I feel like this all came down to how good your outfit was at the end. And this is probably a good time to talk about Soju, which is the person that they kicked off.
It was terrible.
It was the worst dress.
Like, I don't know how to sew. I think I could probably rival.
It was just
that
like a
chick.
really bad idea. She was like Korean and wanted to make this kind of traditional Korean dress, which is just like this giant floaty bell dress that starts at your boobs. Like the bell starts
and gives
up
you no
super high.
silhouette. Yeah,
Yeah,
Like
and
so,
you're like-
as they said in the show, it gives you no silhouette. Like you just look like a fucking floating blob and bell.
Yeah. So it was just like, yeah, immediately once you saw that, you knew she was getting kicked off. Although I didn't know they were going to do the lip sync battle.
Yeah.
Oh,
And the
okay.
other
That was
person
incredible.
Did so much better.
I mean, she did a back handspring in heels.
Kahana.
Yeah,
Kahana
Kahana
Montrese.
Montrese. Yeah, she did a fucking like back handspring.
Yeah,
in
that was
heels.
nuts. That was
Yeah.
insane.
and Soju is just not bringing
Yeah.
anything.
They also
Not a lot of
yeah.
energy.
They foreshadowed throughout the episode that Soju just wasn't made for the competition because it seems like Soju is a YouTube star, but she's a comedian.
She's not even just a YouTube star now. She recaps RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah, she
Right.
does. Like I said, like kind of like Game of Thrones. She does these little commentaries on fucking RuPaul's Drag Race, right?
Yeah. So
Which Jonathan Van Ness of Queer Eye fame does fucking like Game of Thrones recaps.
Oh, crazy!
Yeah, you guys
So-
should watch it sometime if you haven't.
Some may say that Soju
Jonathan,
is...
I'm good. I don't need to watch that.
Yeah. Some may say that Soju is cut from the same cloth as Who Put This On.
but
Let-
each week we do
yeah.
a new one.
We do, but it's that commentary on reality TV. But
That's true. Not too many of us.
to like
So is Soju
yeah.
being on this show a podcast on the show?
wait, what?
Oh,
I was just like, I don't know how to answer this
Yeah.
because I've not been here enough.
Also, some people in this room didn't really like Queer Eye. So,
oh what?
all right.
All right.
So something I thought was
Moving
interesting
on.
about this show, like I've never seen an episode of this show, and I like that they're introducing each of the contestants, and you see them in their kind of woman persona, but then all the confessionals are them in their male persona. And I thought
Yeah,
that was very
they-
interesting that like they're being introed. It's almost like two different intros at the same time. Of you see them one way, you see them another way. And it's clearly like it's part of the same person, but it's also like it's very different how you get introduced to them. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
It definitely feels like a stage persona and non-stage persona.
Yeah, it's like
Totally.
you're just their character, and then you're just like the actor behind the character. Is the way it kind of comes across.
It's also very unclear to me what the best drag racer is. Like, I don't.
Some of them they literally said looked like, "Hey, you're putting a mask on right now." Like the woman that they said looked like the slutty SeaWorld trainer or something like that.
Yeah.
They were like, "It like your face is so white and your body is not." Like, so they're just like, it's clear that this is makeup, and that's a kind of a bit of an
I
issue.
mean, like,
when they were like splitting hairs,
but
you know,
is,
at the end. Kind
is
of
that like the like? I understand. Okay, the one competition was like, okay, you're gonna go out on the catwalk, and you're gonna have to give us a show. Okay, we're gonna judge you on your outfit in the show. Okay,
and
that
your
makes-
persona.
But
Yeah.
are they judging on the persona?
I think it's full pack. Like ultimately, they're entertainers, right? Like it's a show, and the show is people in drag, and so it's the costume, the makeup, the personality, the character, right? It's like the whole package, and they need to execute it all. They need to be the costume designer, the writer, the actor, the director. So it's like, can you pull it all off? I think that's it.
I mean, they have a bit of persona based on their names. Like, there are a lot of good names, like Scarlet Envy, Plastic Tiara.
Plastique.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a little unclear, like, what the winner is really good at the end of this.
The whole thing. That's what
Yeah.
I mean. They
They're
gotta-
good at life.
I mean,
They're good at being a queen when they need to
They,
be.
Yeah.
they're good at being themselves. Like, they're in touch with themselves and they're able to express that freely. They don't have like any reservation.
I would say it's a little bit different. Like it's a show, you know. Like granted, it's a definitely form of expression as a character, but it's a character.
It
right?
is
like
I mean,
it's not them necessarily.
No, it's them. Like, it's definitely them and like their life, and like they're expressing like who they really feel like they are.
I don't know.
I'm-
I agree with
yeah.
Noah. This is like if you go to if you're like in a drag circle, it's like a drag show. Like, it's not like I don't go to see like drag comedians. Like, I'm sure the comedians are in a drag show, right? Am I off base here?
I think there's both. I think there's a way you can go see drag comedians. I don't know.
Like,
I think that's
I
a
don't
thing.
know. But then is a drag comedian going to win this show?
No.
That
Well, it
was
depends on if that
Soju.
drag comedian can sew, can strut,
Right.
can sachet, can do makeup that doesn't look like a mask. I don't know. Based on my
I mean,
first episode of
that's
this.
true, but like you're not going to win because you're a good comedian.
right.
Yeah, that's not going to carry you through.
No.
Yeah. So like that's
I'll-
all. It's almost like the Apprentice. Like, just like, we're gonna throw you random
What?
fucking tasks. Good luck.
I don't know. It feels like they're like the astronauts of the entertainment world.
What?
Right? It's like not.
Okay.
So it's like not only do they have to be in like amazing physical shape, they need like a PhD.
I mean, do they?
in,
Because
like,
Silky
chemistry.
Nutmeg Ganache was not an amazing physical
Silky Nutmeg
shape.
Ganache.
I
think is
can't
an
talk that much
outlier.
shit because I'm not in good shape either. But
No,
Like-
that is, but like you know how like astronauts have to be like physically fit and mentally insanely fit. Like on the in the entertainment side, like they seem like they gotta have everything, and then kill it.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you get into that that lip sync battle,
Yeah.
and you can't strut it or do a back handspring in fucking heels, you're fucked.
Right.
I don't think she needed to do the backhand.
I don't either. She killed it before that, but
She
she wanted
need
to
to.
seal the deal.
Yeah,
So
that,
she fucking did it.
that was twisting the sword once it was in.
So on Silky Nutmeg Ganache, she comes out on this pod. She comes out like, and Mr. Noah Singer was like, "Is that a man?"
Yes.
So that's the only person. That's the only person Noah said that to. And then she had this weird thing where she was like, "All right, when I say attitude check, what are you supposed to say, Ben?"
Fuck you, bitch. Except the last time she said it, room was silent.
Yeah,
Could have heard
she
a
was just like
fucking
this-
pin drop, dude.
She was like, "Does anyone remember attitude check?" Silence.
Everyone was real pissed about it. No one gave a shit.
There's also seems to be the word bitch and bitches a lot. That seems to be a preferred pronoun.
I mean,
Like, definitely, like, RuPaul was like, "We got some badass bitches here." Like, that was said a couple times.
but I mean, like then they said the phrase like "go untuck." Like, let's see which one
Yeah.
of these gentlemen were the best.
It's very
and
weird.
things like
they
that.
like switch their gentlemen.
as
and,
as a like white straight dude, I am not sure how to say it. And this is something we said before the podcast was recorded. Was like, what pronouns should we use? And we're like, I don't know. And does it matter? I'm not sure. Like, I don't want to be insensitive about it, but like, I'm not sure what we should say, and I'm not sure that it matters. Like, if we
I
call
think
them
we should
beautiful
use-
women, or we call them handsome men, or however you want to refer, I'm not sure that it really matters.
I think that we should just call them bitches.
Is that the point we're making at this point?
I think
that's
think
fair.
so.
That's fair.
I think they can refer to each other as that. I'd feel odd.
This almost
referring
feels
to
like a
them
really
as-
overly sensitive, like racial commentary right now.
That term describing other people for me feels like in that way. Like I'm cool if they use it. I'd feel odd using it.
Oh yeah, definitely not
That's
like
fair.
first meet or anything. That's definitely familiarity. Like
Noah, what if we refer to them as biatches?
You can do that.
No.
I
Or
guess I'm not gonna-
batches.
All right, so
I do like when you say that personally.
So Noah,
Batches.
do you think we're the target demographic for this show?
White guys in Seattle, one visiting from Denver, straight, slightly overweight, probably. Yeah.
You think so?
like we're in Seattle. I mean, it's not
The Seattle
not,
part
not
helps.
Our demographic.
I mean, it's not any of
We're
the
liter-
five of us demographic, but
We're-
it's not necessarily target demographic.
Yeah, we're
I guess.
literally in Capitol Hill right now. That
Yes.
part helps.
Like, there's definitely a bar like 2 blocks from here that I could go watch this live at.
There's definitely one time I went out to like a bar with a couple people and then realized that they're about to do a RuPaul's Drag Race viewing. I'm not in the bar I thought I was in.
Yeah, they're a bait shop on the hill. They watch Drag Race live. They have a
Bait shop?
Yeah, they have a queen who comes in and she like riles up the crowd. Yeah, I actually was there once. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. So I want to talk about somebody called Yvi,
Mm.
and I feel like
Yvi Oddly.
Yvi Oddly.
She was great.
You think so?
Tell me more.
She's also from Denver, Ben.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, like, she was like the one that had like the race car dragging her boa out at the beginning to make it look like a snake slithering.
Yeah,
and then
you're
she had
right.
like the snake persona. I think she's less of like a drag queen necessarily, and more of a like, let me kind of do this kind of weird thing that is also drag, but I'm not necessarily trying to just be 100% like in the drag world. She's just trying to like also press her art. I don't fucking know.
So some of the shade thrown around when she was introduced was like, circus is in town.
Oh yeah.
She's like House Slytherin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Slytherin, I forgot about that.
because she was kind of snaky when she
Yeah.
came in.
I
But
thought-
she was a lot about
I
that.
did not like her when they first introduced her.
Yeah. Did you like her in the second round?
I don't remember what she was wearing in the second round.
See, that's the other thing is like you might be memorable negatively in the first round, and then all of a sudden you're non-memorable in the second
Well,
round.
it's also so what we've realized when you watch these first episodes is like there's so many people. There's just so
It's hard to
like,
keep
you
track
can't
of.
keep track of them all. There's only so many like people that get enough airtime for you to actually remember who they are.
Yeah, we had 15 people and we had 2 different wardrobes to kind of go through. Like that's a
it's not
lot.
Even, you can't even go
I
by
mean-
like the person in the red like strawberry like shirt or whatever.
But at
No.
the same time, you're gonna remember the good ones, and you're gonna remember the bad ones,
Yeah.
which is fine. Like we all remember, like Soju wasn't great. Evie was kind of weird the first round. Like Plastique looked great both rounds, like in that rose dress the second round. But Kahana did that fucking backflip, even though she was in the bottom 2. Like she did a fucking like back handspring in the lip sync battle. Like you remember the greats and you remember the not so greats.
But it's true, like something I said that I thought was kind of interesting is also kind of a challenge of like each person is sort of introed twice of their persona and the confessional persona. So it's like there's something where I'm like, I remember them in the confessional,
But not
and
the
I'm
whole
like,
time.
which one were they in their persona? And it's like, so in a way, we had 30 intros to deal with. It's
Well, and even
this
more
is some
than
kind
30.
of this is some kind of bachelorette situation.
Yeah,
It's
like-
like just so many people, I
Like
don't even
almost
know how to deal with
45
them.
even, because like their intro, then their cut down of that, and then their hey, create an outfit with a sewing machine intro.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, like some of them were so different from each round.
Yeah.
I'm not saying all of them, but there were a couple that were like,
There's definitely like people where I was like, Kahana, like I could tell you like her like male like her confessional look, but like I don't remember what she wore at all. I have no idea.
Yeah,
Like outside
That's
of
fair.
that.
That's fair.
they transform a lot.
They do they are really blending together for me. Like it's hard for me to kind of remember who was who and all this. Like maybe if I watch a couple more episodes, I'd start to keep them straight. But
The ones
Based
that,
on one
yeah.
episode, yeah.
yeah,
the
it's
ones
tough.
that really look different than the others, like stand out. So like Nina West is like a bigger white guy, and like very clearly when she's on, it's like okay, that's Nina. Like she looks very distinctive.
Well, and same with like Plastique. She's so small and young, and
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
She's polished plastic pussy, as they said in the show.
That was my nickname in
The
prison.
three
I don't
P's.
know.
3 P's.
Ooh.
She was like wearing this red rose dress at the end, which
Oh
you're like,
yeah, the
oh my God, I
rose dress.
can't believe
But how did
yeah.
she? How did
made
she
that.
make that? Yeah, like
And then the people like she was in like the bottom, and I was like, what?
yeah.
I mean, it's just like I don't know enough about sewing to know if somebody should be in the bottom or not. So
Okay. We gotta actually start talking about like the previous like challenges first before
I
we
mean,
talk
we're
about.
just going over people. Like I don't know if you have minutia about the first challenge. Let's get to it.
I mean, the first challenge was pretty good because like first off, they all like were in their main costumes, and then they were doing a photo shoot, but then RuPaul's like, no, this photo's missing something, and then he brought out like a professional like drag queen like that was either like on the show before or like.
Is an established
Do
queen.
we,
Yeah.
do we even know? Like I don't know.
She said that.
Well, I mean, the first person was
No, she said all of them.
Okay.
Like all of them were like primo queens.
primo queen.
Whether that means they were on the show or they were
you could
just
be
like
on the show with that.
I
kind
got
of
the
line.
impression they were all either former winners or former like top 2, top 3 on the show. Like I cannot back that up, but that was the impression I feel like they
yeah, I
gave.
can't validate that either.
Then they had to do like photos or like duet photos, right?
Where they
Oh.
they directed the photo, so they had to state where they were going to be and establish where the established queen should be.
This was a terrible segment.
Did we get a good sense of what the criteria was?
No.
No, okay.
This is one of the things where, like, when I said we brought up, like, I don't know what the hell this competition's about.
Yeah.
This is almost mainly what I was complaining about. 'Cause
Right.
it's like doing a photo shoot, and then you only briefly saw the photo for like 10 frames,
yeah,
and then
less
it
than
was
a second.
gone. And there was no comparison. No one talked about them.
And no one said-
was like, "This is bad. This is good."
Yeah, no one said, "Hey, look at their first frame and their like 50th shot,"
There's nothing.
and said this one was terrible and this one.
I
was
don't even
way
know
better.
if we saw all the photos. To be
Well,
honest.
you,
No
you
way.
Yeah, you know what's really different? The first competition compared to all the reality shows, it's a dictatorship. It's Rue's decision, and guess what? She ain't gonna explain why she's making that decision.
No way.
You're the winner. Move on.
Yeah, it was definitely like I like tuned out for 20 seconds. I was like, "Wait, they announced a winner? Like, what just happened? You didn't even talk about it."
Here's the thing, like
I
they
gotta-
just blazed through everyone.
They had to.
Yeah.
I
So
gotta be honest. I didn't even realize they'd announced a winner. And I was like, oh, I guess we're. Then they're talking about the next competition, and like the winner has a special prize. I was like, oh, I guess there was a winner of the
Yeah,
previous
exactly.
one.
I tuned out for like 20 seconds, which
Though, to be fair, that's like this show is moving. It doesn't feel like this show drags that much. Like stuff.
This
stuff's
show
happening.
doesn't drag. You hear that?
I like how Ron didn't do that intentionally.
How do you know I didn't do it intentionally?
You would have winked. You would have winked.
I guess that's true. But like, I do feel like the show, like it didn't feel like it was taking its time necessarily. Like it was trying to move through all the different things. Partly because there's so many damn people to get through. But
Right. Like if
Right.
MTV made this show, this is
VH1,
taking
VH1,
like
VH1.
5
no,
hours.
if MTV.
Oh, if MTV.
Yeah. So we have a side podcast called if MTV put this on.
who put
Put
MTV
MTV
on?
on.
God
Damn
damn it.
it.
How was that?
So close. But anyway, like especially with all the shade being thrown here, like MTV would have had at least half the show just in recaps and look forwards on the shade.
That's
And I think
that's
that's
unfair. MTV doesn't really do a whole lot of recapping.
they're all about the look forward drama and the recap drama.
We're gonna be done because we're not talking about this show anymore.
The-
Moving on.
But by the way, I would like to be Skyped in for other podcasts. This has been enjoyable for me so
okay.
far.
mid pod update from Ben.
Yep. It's a good time. You should come do it if you're friends with any of these guys or gals that are normally on this.
All right.
Should people listening subscribe to the podcast?
You shouldn't. Probably not. But no, I'm just kidding. You absolutely should.
Sounds about right.
So in between the first and second segment, we had a fun bit. The little celebrity. Who was that, Ben?
Oh, yeah. So they brought in the celebrity judge for this, and they had her dressed, quote-unquote, in drag. So they had Miley Cyrus come in with the fakest fucking looking goatee on and terrible short-haired wig and come into adjust someone's microphone. And then, of course, all the drag queens that are competing recognized her and then had a blast. Miley, by the way, I love you if you're listening. You're probably not, but I just want to let you know.
She's a fan of the pod.
Oh, okay, perfect.
She's
She will hear this then.
I was surprised how quickly Silky Nutmeg Ganache realized that the guy with the microphone is actually Miley Cyrus.
That's an
Definitely
attention
was
detail.
like a double take. It was like briefly saw and then like, wait, oh yeah, and then she like screams,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh my god!" Like, and she puts her on her back and gives her a piggyback ride, which
Yeah.
was super weird.
But that was like Silky's persona. She wants to be that
Silky
out
was
there.
definitely like 100, like 0 to 100. She's like 98.
Real quick.
Mm-hmm.
She's
Real
just like,
quick.
she definitely knows she's on TV. She wants to be on TV. And the best way to be on TV on these shows is to be that person. That like off the wall rails, off the wall kind of person with a lot of energy.
She's bringing the ham.
She's bringing the ham. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
like
that-
some of these people I'm like, Sugar cane?
Sugarcane.
I have no idea.
Sugar.
No idea. I don't know who
Chris
she is.
says the whitest way to say that
Sugar.
word.
Sugarcane is the
Sugar.
guy. No, you don't remember? No,
Sugar.
he lives in New York, and he came on as a 24-year-old, and it's like, wait, actually 40.
That was the only thing
Beachy
the whole
does.
show you could say about this person.
Yeah, pretty much.
This 120 minutes, no commercials.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying, if you want to be on the show, like literally just on TV,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you gotta be
Someone.
more like what's her face,
Silky.
Silky.
Nutmeg.
Nutmeg Ganache.
My notes are kind of all over the place.
It was just moving so fast. Like I tried to take some notes of like the zingers. Is next level. Like the only zinger I got like from like the photo shoot was RuPaul asked like, "Will you be taking the bus or an Uber to the club?" And somebody said Uber X.
Yeah, whoa. I don't even remember who said that. But
That was Silky.
Oh, it was
I
Silky?
remember
Oh,
it being
yes.
said. Yeah, I remember it being said.
I wrote down a couple, not too many. Somebody said cherries have a lot of GMOs in it. I don't eat GMOs.
Oh, yeah, who the fuck said
That was Mercedes, I believe.
Oh my god.
or
that's
Brooklyn.
I don't eat
No, Mercedes.
I don't eat GMOs. Okay. And I don't eat cherries because cherries have GMOs. I'm fine if you don't eat GMOs. But like not all cherries have GMOs. Like I think we all know that.
Yeah.
At least
Not-
those of us in
yeah,
the room.
Hashtag not all cherries.
Yeah, hashtag not my cherry.
I mean, Scarlet Envy was Venus with a penis.
Oh god.
We got my hero, my auntie at some point. I thought that was kind of a weird line.
That's pretty good.
I mean, one of my auntie might
Slutty worker at SeaWorld.
Yeah.
Which
Oh.
they used a different cut of that in the like coming up.
Yeah.
section.
Oh yeah, they used that as we were fading to quote unquote commercial, which we skipped because
It was like
whatever.
you look
But then they brought it back and we were like, oh, that is a little different.
yeah, you look like something trainer at SeaWorld. You look like a slutty trainer at SeaWorld was the full
Yeah.
think line, but like they cut it short in the actual like later. It was weird.
I really wish I knew who was said like I might wear Devon T, but labels don't fit me.
No, Givenchy.
Oh, Givenchy, damn it. Couldn't understand it.
Yeah. I forgot who that was too.
Labels don't fit me.
So Brooklyn was the person that won the second competition, correct?
Oh my god, yeah, her like skin type blue, whatever the hell suit.
Yeah.
I could not have sewn that, let alone sewn it to make it look
Like,
that
it
damn
could have
good.
taken me like years to sew something.
I mean,
like
first
that.
of all, the years would have taken me to like shed the pounds. The second part would have been to sew that suit to fit me that well.
But here's the thing: you know your own measurements, like sew your own like costume, like you know that.
Yeah, I
Well,
still
as
would have
long-
fucked that up.
So as long as you don't gain or lose weight or bloated that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, at least when you make it the same day, Ben, it could be like how bloated you are.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
day.
you're
Oh,
right,
yeah.
you're right,
Like,
you're right.
let me do this measurement so you don't have to
Dude,
like
she killed it though. That
try to squeeze into like 2 years ago Ben's outfit.
even though she was wearing that weird like Mountie outfit on the way in,
Yep.
she looked great in the first round. Personal opinion. And then she like crushed it with like I think she had one of the best looking costumes, not because of like her body, but just the manufacturing of a costume in whatever the hell time they have. Like whether it's 5 hours or 2 hours or 3 days, I have no fucking clue because we don't know.
It was,
So-
it was probably a day.
Did we
Like,
actually
this whole
describe
thing
like
was-
the second competition, like and how it started, like and how these
Well, we
costumes
talked
come to
about
be?
how they gave
The
these-
chests out, like
chests
the
out.
foot lockers out to everyone or whatever.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, like I mean, it's like the same like famous
That's-
like
Unless you have more minutia about like
no, it's just like giving
the
out.
chests out specifically.
I mean, I don't know anything about who owned the chests before, other than the
was-
chest that was covered in pot leaves, and it got given to that chick that then walked out wearing a fucking bodysuit covered in pot leaves. But
Right.
like, I don't know anything else beyond that.
It was
you know?
just famous
Yeah.
queens.
There was a
yeah,
lot.
famous queens and what the winner Silky
Yeah.
Nutmeg got to hand them out.
I do got to say, Brooklyn Heights had a pretty good line when she came out. So she's from Canada,
I
and
wrote this down.
and she
I
comes
actually
out.
think she was from Tennessee.
No, she lives in Tennessee.
She was
okay.
originally from Canada, now lives in Tennessee.
Oh, all right. I just
she was
remember it was on
saying-
the bottom screen.
She's Queen of the North. So
I'm King of the North.
yeah, exactly. Some little
Sansa.
Games of Thrones tie-in.
Yeah, I mean, according to Wikipedia, everyone here currently lives in the U.S. Whether they're from the U.S. or not is questionable.
Yeah.
Remains to be seen.
Also, RuPaul said congratulations to Brooklyn when she won.
Oh yeah. Well,
Oh, nice. So
And they also they introed this ad for some company called Mr. B&B.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Instead
yeah.
of
I
So-
forgot about that.
B&B.
So like the final like few contestants that got like selected for judgment like in the catwalk thing, there was like a winner of that.
Yeah, that
And-
was Brooklyn.
Was it Brooklyn or like oh yeah. Oh no, it was Brooklyn,
won
yeah.
that.
Yeah, like and it was like
Yeah,
Mr.
they-
B and B.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Get with the program.
I am
Get on the pod.
we didn't even
Talk-
describe like most of this stuff.
Pod
We
talk.
talked about. I already said Brooklyn won. And then we had a whole tangent conversation. I was just bringing it back.
We didn't talk about like the entire like segment of the competition like where like
No,
they
what do you
walk
have
down.
to say about it? I can't tell you what everyone was wearing. I don't know. Have a conversation about like what did Vanessa Vaggie Mateo wear? I don't know. Like, you
It's
just
not veggie, it's Vangie.
whatever.
Veggie sounds really aggressive.
That's how it's spelled.
No, it's Vangie. It's not veggie.
You
So-
gotta at least like describe the competition a little bit.
We
Like
talked about the competition.
Can,
we
can I
didn't.
can I roll it back to the trunks? Everyone got a trunk.
No.
So we
Yeah,
said they
please.
were from, other like
Queens of the Stone Age.
Queens of the
almost.
Stone Age.
Yeah.
Was it the same ones that were the guests?
Yeah.
For the first competition, like did
Oh.
we clarify
Yeah.
that that's the case?
I don't know if we clarified that. It
they
might
don't
be.
I saw
so.
some that like were the same at least. So
They didn't clarify.
No,
So
I think they would have made that like pretty clear.
I thought that was what was happening, but like I didn't know those ones that well. Like I couldn't make the connection, but I thought
Yeah.
that was kind of the implication. But I'm curious if it's like no, it was totally unrelated.
no,
That, we may need to do some further research to concur that.
Go some kind of internet corner.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking up. I'm on MrBnB.com. There's a lot of good deals.
I'm
Well,
pretty
where
sure.
can we go for our next vacation, Noah?
What kind of deal are you looking at, Noah?
And
just
do we have to like? How do you get to use Mr. B&B
It seems
versus
like,
Airbnb?
Yeah, no, it seems like it's they really pride themselves on gay hosts.
They
Pride
pride.
themselves.
Hey now, but what's actually interesting is they really promote clothing optional stays.
Oh.
So, and those rooms seem pretty cheap too. There was like a $70 place in Brooklyn, clothing optional. Not bad. But yeah,
So I have a
Pretty
dumb
good.
question. If you rent a place like an Airbnb and you're inside, isn't it obviously clothing optional? What's the clothing optional?
Yeah.
I need to investigate this.
Like
further.
I go to Airbnb and then I gotta change my clothes, like or
I
go
think
take a
it's more
shower. At
like
some
an-
point, I'm clothing optional.
Clothing optional community.
Yeah, I guess it's
those things exist somewhere.
No,
I
they
have to
definitely
assume.
exist.
I don't know.
that's a good point. That it's you're staying in a clothing optional community, so
But it might be just like, hey, be prepared.
be
You
prepared.
might see some clothing optional
Well,
community.
it
members.
only gets kind of interesting. So obviously, in Airbnb, you have like a shared room, private room, entire place.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. B&B has very similar filter options, and so if you're in the clothing optional plus shared room or just private room and not entire place, you're kind of in a different segment of the market.
So what does Mr. B&B give you that Airbnb does not? What's the pitch?
It's going to be trust that if someone sees that you're a gay person or a gay couple, they're not going to discriminate against you.
I think
I
it's
mean, that's
more.
fair.
Yeah, it's more on that line than
Got
the
it.
other way. Because I'm sure there's definitely parts of this country, if you are gay, that you definitely don't want to go to.
This is pretty
yeah.
neat. They even have discreet invoicing. Worried about privacy? Upon payment, you can request for the name Mr. B&B to be replaced with the company's business name, SF084 in the U.S. or Pink Lab 360 in the rest of the world.
Ooh, nice.
That's expensive to like just be able to change your like credit card descriptor like that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Mr. B&B spares no expense.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it's a pretty interesting business to learn about. But anyway, back to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The lip sync battle was fun. I like that part of the segment. Like it was like so they told like 8 people that they were fine to leave the stage, and there was like 7 people left or
Yeah.
one or the other, and like so that included the winners and the losers. So it was kind of odd to tell like if you were gonna win or lose. So it was like the top 4 and the bottom 4.
What was kind of
Ish.
weird? What was kind of weird is that like as they were like going through and like describing like what they liked or disliked, there was a lot more like than I really thought that there should be for like the quote unquote bottom 7. Cause like for like the first like 3 people are like, we love your costume. It's like, well, why are you there? Like, why is this even a question?
Because the top ones have to be there. Because they announced the winner the same way. The winner was in the bottom.
Oh,
The
that's
winner
true.
was
Yeah,
one of the 8 people,
th-
Brad.
that-
So it's-
yeah,
I
that's
was
true.
just
Like-
going over this.
Yeah.
They have the top and bottom, so you're not sure if you're in the top or the bottom when they don't take you off the stage.
Yeah. And that's just definitely different. And
I don't know. Well, I mean, the bottom might know they're in the bottom. Like, yeah.
they probably do. I mean,
like, what's her face definitely knew she was in
Nina
the bottom.
West.
Soju definitely knew she was in the
Soju, Nina. I was kind of
So-
surprised that Kahana
Yeah.
did the backflip like that.
I looked.
That bitch was representing.
Yeah.
I thought that was a fine outfit. But I mean, like, if the competition was sew yourself a bomb ass outfit, then yeah, she didn't do great because it was like a
Half an
sash.
outfit, yeah.
It was like a sash. There was also a great line about her, like, and just because her right side was exposed, I forget what the line was.
her just boobs was hanging
Yeah, it
out.
wasn't like a Janet Jackson reference. It was something else. I forget what.
It
No,
doesn't
there's
matter.
definitely a good reference. So if you're interested in that, watch RuPaul's Drag Race season 11, episode 1, and
Yeah,
you too
figure-
can see that.
I-
Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
not promoting the show.
like the
really
boob,
should be.
the boob work on the show is quite amazing. How like they use like shadowing to
Yeah,
make
like
look like they got boobs.
bronzers. Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, they're very practiced.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's all the minutia I have for this episode.
I mean, so Soju and Kahana, they were both like the
Yeah.
two people doing like the final face off.
Yeah,
And they both had excuses for why like they felt like they weren't like bringing their all. So Soju said that like they had a cyst pop.
She was
Oh,
yeah, like when she said goodbye, she signed it "Goodbye Sisters" or whatever sisters, but it was CYSTERS. Like, you're my fellow cyst buddy. What?
Yeah.
Oh,
She had-
Oh.
That was a
Little
little
rough.
TMI
a
there.
little rough.
But Kahana also had something. I can't remember exactly
well, so
what.
she has. Her mother was like famous drag queen.
Oh yeah. Okay. So, but they both like
But she
tried
was
like
I was like, half my outfit is me, half my outfit is her, and they were like, oh.
they both knew that like they were on the bottom, and they just kind of gave an excuse.
I didn't think her outfit was bottom worthy, to be honest.
I didn't either. It was just.
Kahana,
yeah.
I
But,
think.
like,
I
I think-
agree. Soju's was subpar.
Yeah. Somebody
In my
has to go.
in my expert drag opinion, I don't.
Somebody
I don't
has to go home though. So.
know. Yeah.
Right.
Someone's got to be the one on the bottom.
So the great part was like for the final face off, they had to lip sync a Hannah Montana song. I'm not exactly sure what one it was.
But Miley was singing along.
Everybody was singing along. Like there were a lot of judges singing along.
I was not singing along. I had no
Well,
idea.
You were
I mean,
singing along. I saw Chris.
Yeah.
I
Some of
don't-
the queens were singing. Some of the judges were singing. Miley was singing, and then the two girls on stage knew it, and one of them was crushing it,
Yep.
and the other one was just kind of there mouthing it.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to say I would have done better than Soju, but I will tell you, it was
I
not that
feel
great.
like, Ben, if you were on the show,
Oh, I would have crushed it.
Soju might be like, that would be the kind of dress you'd come out.
Oh
in,
no,
like,
no.
Like
If I was
let me-
gonna make it to this show, I would be fucking stitching the hell out of that. Somehow, I don't know.
It definitely like so Kahana was definitely putting the moves on stage and also lip syncing really well. Whereas like when it cut away to Soju, there were definitely you could tell she was lip syncing, and then there were also points where because she kind of had like a puffy dress, like she was kind of like holding it in and like trying to like maneuver it in such a way, and then finally like Kahana put the killing blow in with the backflip in heels and
Yeah, yep.
crushed it.
And we were all just like, "Wait, that just happened?"
I just want to roll back for a second, Brian.
Yeah.
You realize both of them were lip syncing.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying that like one did it better.
Duh.
Most people on fucking SNL do it. Like, and
Yeah,
you can
I'm aware. I'm
Yeah.
aware.
Where's
like
You're
it's
like-
it's all a performance, and like you could tell that like Soju
Just
was
like, by
clearly
the
lip
way-
syncing. Like she like was fumbling around the one of the words.
Because, like, by the way, Peter Pan can't fly.
Yeah, like okay.
Where was LL Cool J during this competition? So I'm actually curious. Like, I wonder how much this episode is similar to other episodes. Like, is every?
I'm literally looking at this right now.
Did you have the answer?
They're fairly identical.
They're fairly.
So each
is there a
episode-
lip sync battle
yeah.
at the end of every episode?
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
probably.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah.
that's how the tiebreakers.
So how do they like? Is it? Do they just like they made it Hannah Montana songs because Miley Cyrus was there, but like it's some random song every time?
It
or?
is. Yeah, so I'm like the special guest judge. It's usually like an actor. Like it's very rarely a singer.
Hmm.
And then just looking here, it seems like it's a random song. A lot of them are definitely songs that are bigger in the gay community, which
What?
is great.
That's an opinion. Do you have facts and stats to back that up?
Like the Edge of Glory was the last song.
Okay.
That,
all right.
that might have been a. No, was that a
Like-
microaggression right there?
Could be like work bitch is a song on episode 2.
Work,
Oh,
bitch.
From
watch
Britney
your
Spears.
language there. Ben.
Watch your language.
Work,
Fucking Britney,
work,
man.
work, biatch. We established this
So-
earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually have like really good celebrities on as the guest judges. I think the most random special guest. So they have tons of what they call special guests on the show, which is primarily the former queens. So I'm looking through here, and there's like tons of them. In the middle of this is Rachel Maddow.
Oh.
As a special guest
I
on the
like
show.
Rachel Maddow.
Yeah, episode 4. But then it's like, literally, it's like 30 drag queens, Rachel Maddow, 30 other drag queens. It's like,
Ooh.
So you're saying You should love Rachel Maddow if you love this show. I don't know.
I know it's just kind of funny.
No,
like
it
the
sounds
list is just so awkward.
It might be a commentary on Rachel Maddow.
Oh, that's
honestly.
true. Maybe she loves this show.
Who's the biggest celebrity that you can see that they had on?
Miley Cyrus.
I mean, it might be.
For this season, which I'm looking at season 11. It's probably her. Like
Okay.
other big names are Joe McHale,
Okay.
Tony Hale, Wanda Sykes.
Great.
Wanda Sykes is great.
Yeah, I mean
Like-
they have other named actors and singers, whatever. But like they're
Definitely Miley is the biggest name in that group.
yeah.
For sure. Currently biggest name.
Not Bobby Moynihan, like on the preview.
So Ben, I'm gonna explain to you. We do ratings on this podcast.
Oh, what?
Yeah, we do ratings.
Go
So
on.
we do a stacked ranking system.
Okay.
So you put it in a bucket. So you got a top third bucket, a middle third bucket, and a bottom third bucket. So wherever you think that this reality show should go in the
In
reality
relation to other.
in the other reality shows. So,
And then
well, some people do 9 buckets.
Some.
Some people do 3 buckets. You can do 9 if you
You're doing 3 buckets.
so you
I
can
do-
say it's like the top of your middle or the bottom of your top and stuff like that. So it's 9 buckets, but you can just do 3 buckets.
Well, Rob, what is your rating for this episode?
My rating for this is I'm putting this in the middle third. Like I thought it was pretty fun to watch and kind of entertaining, but like I was a little too confused about like what was the criteria to like what made you win and what made you lose and stuff like that. And I didn't feel I fully followed everything was going on. There was just too many people to keep track of what was going on. So based on that, I feel it was not bad, but I'm putting in the middle third.
Before we move off you, Rob,
Yes.
I'm surprised it's in the middle third because I think this is the first show I've ever seen you fall asleep.
Oh my god, I was gonna say that if you didn't.
Ooh.
Say that if you didn't.
I mean, like, for it to be in the middle third after you fall asleep in the middle of it, that's a bold statement.
That means it's a good show. Maybe it should be in his top third. The
I might
bottom
have-
of his top.
Shade.
I might have pre-gamed this pod pretty hard at Thomas Street Warehouse, and that contributed to my lack of attention. So I'm not holding the show accountable for that.
El Tomature Warehouse.
So I'm also gonna put this in the middle. I think that like the show drags a bit.
Drag.
Drink.
I'm just like not that invested in this community, and but overall it was fine. It was funny. Like there was moments that I thought was fun, but I was also just kind of bored a little bit too. So goes in the middle. Noah, what do you got for us?
I'm putting this in the top, middle of the top. So for me, that's very high.
Yeah.
In the 9 bucket area.
Yeah, exactly. The reason why I'm putting it up there, it's the actual format of the reality show is quite different than other competition shows. Like the dictatorship of RuPaul, rather than relying on a panel of so-called experts. Then all these people have tons of attitude. That said, I don't know if I could watch this show like over and over again. I'm interested to like give it another shot and see if the attitude just kind of wear out over time.
Because of how similar it seems that the episodes are.
Potentially,
Based
know,
on what we read. real
like
quick.
yeah, like it's less of a storyline and more of just these like over the top personalities, which personally I'd be a little bit over with quickly. But yeah, as a one-time show, it moves. It got swagger. It's going in the top.
All right, Brian, what do you got?
I think it's the top of the middle. I just thought it moved like too fast for me to keep track of everybody. Really, I just need to like not be drunk for like the intro thing, and then, then maybe I could do it.
Wise words.
Brian and I might be on the same page.
But like, otherwise, like it was moving like there was no filler. Like there was so much shade, so many burns. It was great.
All right, and you realize one of the things when you keep watching these shows is you get to know the people that are stay in the show more and more, so it's like less of a problem.
Absolutely.
Well, and there's less characters.
That's what I mean,
Well,
is
not
like this-
characters, people. I mean, but also in this show, it's kind of caricatures. They're kind of expressing themselves that way. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Like if you follow
The
the
longer
show,
you
like
watch it,
if you followed the show for a while, like you probably recognize a bunch of people. Especially if you're in the community, like you probably recognize a bunch of people. It's just unfortunately I don't have much knowledge on this. It was just pure joy to see people being entertaining and having fun.
Can I do well, actually, Chris, no, you went. Ever to go?
No, Ben needs to go.
Ben.
I'd say it is somewhere between the top of my middle and the middle of my top. So like
Yeah.
upper rated, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Between like probably what 70 and 85 to 90%.
Oh, man, you're
Whatever
changing
the
the
hell it
scale.
is.
You can't.
Whoa.
You can't change the scale.
Yeah,
I'm out. I can't do this.
Oh man,
Man.
No, I think it's like in that area, you know, bottom. Like, so if I had to slam it somewhere, it'd be the bottom of my top, which are also good terms for the community, I guess.
It is, yeah.
But yeah, honestly, I loved it. It was entertaining. It was quick moving. It wasn't too terrible. I wish that we I enjoyed watching the first episode because we got to see some things, but I wish we watched an episode kind of further through so that it wasn't so fast paced. Because you have fucking 15 people on the show, so if it was like an 8 or 10 person, maybe we would get a little more detail. Maybe we would get a little bit more involvement and investment in the show. But I mean, it was fun. I laughed a bunch of times. I enjoyed it a lot. It was one of those all around good time shows.
The one thing I got to say for our podcast is we have very well calibrated against episode ones of shows.
Because of this?
No,
Because of too many
we
people,
just
or-
generally watch the first episode of a season or series. And so you can kind of see like how each show starts out.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like the problem we have, which we can get into, is like if you watch episode 5 or 6, they don't actually intro those people.
Oh yeah,
so you just get
because they expect you already know.
so you expect you to have watched episodes 1 through 4 or 5 or whatever. So by the end of it, you'll get a kind of idea of who they are, just like you did here. So in order to really get a good handle on it, you can watch episode 1, then you could skip to episode 10 or whatever.
So you had a good intro.
You've got
and
the
then-
intro. You don't need to get all the minutia between episodes 1 and 10. But you need to know, you need that intro. If they have the intro, you just end up with this weird situation where everything's even faster because you already know who these people are, but you don't know who they are.
So almost watch episode 1 on your own, and then during the pod we'll watch episode 5 or 6.
If we were really gonna do it, you should watch more than just one
I
episode.
know,
But
Yeah.
we can't have a 4-hour
at
podcast.
minimal, watch episode 1 on your own, and then get together and watch episode 5 or 6.
Exactly. That's where character-driven reality shows, right? For reality shows that are just one and done, it kind of doesn't matter.
It's true. We do those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I give a spoiler on the winner of season 11? We okay with that?
I already
for
looked at
RuPaul's
the
Drag Race?
spoiler.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not okay with it. I'm interested.
So Ivy, if you scroll down, Chris, sorry
She
for
won?
this- She's the winner.
I cannot believe that.
Yeah, really shocking. Ivy Oddly wins, and
Based on episode 1, I cannot believe that.
Silky actually lasts very late in the game. She places 4th, which is
Wow.
also surprising because I just assumed she was hamming it up. They get pissed at her, and then she gets kicked out.
Yeah, I spoiled myself immediately in the show. I knew who was going to get
You
kicked
soiled
off.
or spoiled?
Both. I was copying the names from Wikipedia, and they're just in the order they get kicked off.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Whoops.
Oops. So I knew who was going to leave.
So
and I
don't
was
do that on other shows.
Well, usually I'm not on my computer taking notes.
How did the carryover Miss Vanhee do?
She was 5th.
Oh, Vanjie.
5th in the
Vanessa
top.
Vanjie
That's pretty
Mateo.
good.
Man,
So went from first eliminated to 5th in the top.
The next person off is Kahana.
yeah, Kahana goes
Wait,
up
she
quick.
was second?
She
No,
was
no.
Off
14.
second kicked?
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
14.
Jesus.
So the lip sync battle didn't save her that long.
No.
She can't backflip her way out of the bottom two,
No.
apparently.
Including next time.
Yeah.
Anyone got any minor updates? We've got a little bit here.
Got a couple quick minor updates.
Hit up.
One is, so a couple weeks ago, did a show called Nailed It.
Oh no.
And this is Emmy's month. And unfortunately, we weren't able to actually get Emmy on Emmy's month. But Emmy is a fan of Nailed It and wants to just say a minor defense of that it's interesting to see the challenges and that the people can actually accomplish in a crazy short amount of time. It's not too negative. It's kind of funny. So that's the defensive.
But that's every reality show.
No. No. Like, it'd be interesting if you took Gordon Ramsay and be like, okay, make this cake in 2 hours, and he fucking makes that fucking cake. You don't take Ben over here and be like, hey, make that professional cake in 2 hours.
Yeah, right.
That's
I
just,
mean,
it's just not.
that sounds
What do you
kinda
mean?
fun.
I'm not. You think I'm not a good baker? No, I'm just kidding. I'm terrible.
Yeah. They
You're
would,
like, Ben, I know you're not a good baker.
they would put you on that show, though. That's the level of people on the show.
And,
That's fine. She can have her opinion. I have my opinion.
Right. Other minor update is I don't have an update for today, but the Masked Singer returns tonight. So
Oh,
it might
Thank
shit.
goodness.
Oh,
One
yeah.
of the worst awesome reality shows. I watched it with my parents. But we watched it on demand, so we didn't have to wait and find out who the fuck these people were.
Yeah, so there might be updates in the future on how Masked Singer season 2 is going.
I hope it's just as bad. As,
my expectations are low.
yeah,
I
hope it's just as bad as season 1.
I hope Antonio Brown's still on.
I mean, he's got nothing to do right
Oh
now.
my
so-
God.
if the first person kicked off is Antonio Brown again, that's so good. Like I wish they'd lead into stuff like that.
Yeah, Survivor also comes back today. I believe.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
The challenge was pretty good last week. For us, for Who Put MTV On listeners out there.
Yeah.
So like, we're gonna get to some premieres, I think, coming up.
I
MTV's got some good
I got to
shows.
put it out there. I think it's been a while since an MTV show.
I know. I mean, MTV has a new Mother show, and their Mother quintuple
Oh.
OG or whatever.
Do we have
Teen
MTV
Mom
month
or
coming?
what? Like,
Yeah, Teen Mom.
We also haven't talked about the end of
You
Hoop.
said mother, not
Are
mom.
You the One?
Oh well,
let's wait for the.
we don't
I
have
know.
the real hardcore. Are you the one stands here?
We got to
We
get them
don't
on.
have the half hour. Are you the time for the half hour? Are you the one update here? I think that's gonna do it for us this week. You can find us on Facebook.com/whoputthison. You can find us on Twitter @whoputthison. You can email us questions and suggestions at whoputthison@gmail.com. Thanks, Ben, for coming.
Thank you
Appreciate
for
it.
inviting me.
You're welcome, and we'll see you guys next time.
S.